This isn't part of the pod, by the way.
This is the start of the podcast.
No, it can't, because you know why? We need to stop talking about things that only we know.
Exactly.
That's rule number one.
Rule number one, not talking about inside bullshit.
Or, if we do, needs to be contextualised. E.g., here's a story about someone we went to TAFE together with.
Yeah.
Their name was blank. Instead of just, do you remember Sarah?
Yeah, sure.
So
we are talking to people. We are talking to people who don't know these things.
Yes, I think so, because you know why? When we did the pod back in 2017, I realised that so few people were talking. I was like, "Fuck it! If we want to talk about Sarah, let's talk about Sarah."
Yeah.
And then more people started listening, and they're like, well, "What are these guys talking about?" So,
all right,
that can happen.
Do you want to do the intro that we don't know what it is yet?
The intro, as in the
to this show that we're about to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck yeah, man! Take it away, and if you fuck it up, we're in big trouble, man.
Well, if I fuck it up, we'll hit delete and then we'll record again.
I'm not recording twice.
That's how podcasts work. You just erase it.
Do the fucking intro.
Welcome to... Shit, I nearly fucked it up already. Let's go again.
Go.
Punch in the mouth.
Welcome to On Our Phones, a new podcast where we talk about everything we've been seeing, scrolling past, and everything in our real worlds.
Everything in our life.
My name's Jayden Shepherd, and across from me is my co-host, Ben Myers.
Yeah, what it is. What's up?
Here we are.
Yeah, man, we're not nervous at all.
No, we're not.
Because we've done this for so many fucking years.
But it feels like there's a lot of pressure all of a sudden, and I don't know why.
Yeah, for those of you who know us, what's up? How's things? For those of you who don't know us, hi, my name's Ben Myers, and that's Jayden Shepherd.
Nice. Just good to like double down on our names.
Double down, yeah. What's the thing? It's like say it fucking 3 times. If you don't know someone, if someone says their name, you got to say it 3 times to yourself, then you remember it. So you say your name to me. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm Jayden.
And I go, Jayden. So when I meet people in the street, that's what I do. I go up to someone and I go, "How you doing?" I go, "What's your name?" And they go, "Christina." And I go, Christina.
And they walk straight away. How
are you, Christina? Yeah.
They walk away.
I go, that's interesting.
Creep.
Christina, yeah.
This guy, I'm not staying around with him.
And then I think about other Christinas I know and I say, "Hey, I used to know a Christina." I did that once. I've gone, "Laura, I used to sleep with a Laura."
No, don't do that.
I go, yeah, I know, right? Bad. And I go, "I didn't sleep." And I literally said, "I didn't sleep with you, did I?"
Is this why you're still single?
And then people around me went, and then I saw her later at the party, like with a group of other girls.
The new Laura or the old Laura?
No, this new Laura that I'd never met before, and she's looking at me from a distance, going, "That's a fucking what a weird fucking guy."
Yeah, move away.
Get the fuck away from me.
Hey, you put yourself in that position.
And then I'm going like, "What the fuck? Did I like do something weird?" Like I'm going to people, "Did I do?" And they're like, "Yeah, look, I think the sleeping with her thing just really threw her off. Yeah. Like she doesn't know you and." Anyway, that's how you get to know people.
And that's how people are going to get to know us. They just heard a nice little snippet of your life.
Sure.
And here we are recording it for other people to listen to.
Yeah. So far, this podcast is going great. Tell us something. But we are going to be talking about things that are... The podcast is like... We were sort of like, what do we call it? We're like, do we call it in the real world? Do we call it on our phones? And we've decided on our phones and in the real world.
Pretty much we're going to go with both.
Yeah, both.
On our phones... brackets.
Parentheses, and in the real world.
And in the real world.
We are going to talk about a lot of things that are in the real world, but we are also going to be talking about things that we have come across on our phones, and we're sure that you, the audience, have come across on your phones, because it's, the online world, it's a globalized thing
connected.
Where we all consume the same similar culture, and we're all interested in the same things. Boy, oh boy, do I want to hear about Pete Davidson going to rehab.
Nice, really? Checking in.
You don't know about that?
No, I heard about the breakup with him and Kim.
And then, from my understanding, Kanye made a post, like a tweet, saying, "Rest in peace, Pete Davidson."
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. That's all. And then the next article I read is Pete Davidson has been sent to rehab due to the Kanye tweet. And it's like, what?
Well, we'll soon find out. I'm pretty sure he's still on SNL, isn't he? SNL will start back in September.
I think he's getting out. And from my understanding, SNL, no more.
No, that's not right.
No, I'm hearing they're talking about wrapping it up.
They'll probably crawl to the 50th.
I've been listening to some insiders say they're planning on wrapping it up.
Whatever. Okay. You saw that on your phone?
I saw that on my fucking phone.
There we go.
No, but as in I am talking to someone who's in the Hollywood loop.
The biz.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they're going to get close. I'm like either this season or next season is the 50th.
Yeah.
And I can see them crawling.
It's 2014 or 15, I think. It's the 50th.
Do you mean 2024?
2024.
You said 2014.
Yeah, I mean, that was the 40th.
Oh,
Jesus
gotcha.
Christ. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
the 40th feels like yesterday.
Feels like yesterday, which is why I'm very sad, which is why I feel like I'm wasting time, which is why we got to get to this podcast.
We got to get going.
Which is why we got to record a fucking podcast and get it out the
so
world.
some people might know us because we used to record a Big Brother podcast together.
But don't mention that because
We're not mentioning it ever again.
Because that's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah. Big Brother, you still watch that shit?
Yeah, man. Not anymore.
Not anymore. We're doing this instead.
Yeah, we're doing this, and we hope... Look, if there's anything you want us to talk about or not talk about, send us a fucking carrier pigeon or a fucking, what do you call it, an email or
We don't have socials yet. That's not good.
Yeah, we will by the time this comes up. You send us a tweet, you send us an Instagram, you send us a TikTok, you send us a B-Reel. What's a B-Reel?
It's new. I'm too far behind. Back in the day, I used to be ahead of the game. I got Instagram before a lot of my classmates. Now I'm behind the game. Be real, more like be tired. I don't have time for it.
Well, do you remember when Instagram was the quote-unquote hipster thing? Like in 2012 when it was like...
You post your coffee.
Yeah, because it's an artsy thing. It's like, and I'd take a photo of the city and put a million filters over it to the point where it looked just blurred to the... like, I'd put it in several different apps and to the point where it was just like you couldn't even see it was a city, and I'm like, that's artsy, dude.
One of my earliest photos on Instagram is from 2012 when I was in London, and it is a photo of they re-released Titanic at the cinemas in 3D.
Whoa!
And there was a billboard in the underground, and I put so many filters on this little photo of the billboard. Looks so good.
So I remember seeing one that was... I'd see this on Facebook. It was like people judging people who were on Instagram. And it was a status. How much... Do you remember this one? How much does a hipster weigh?
I can... tell me. I feel like I've seen it, but...
An Instagram.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because hipsters are on Instagram.
Even the word hipsters are out of... That doesn't get used anymore, hipsters.
No, because everyone will think they're a hipster but not acknowledge they're a hipster. Everyone's fucking
But do we need to label people anymore? Like, it was a weird idea that, like, oh, I'm a hipster.
Well, no. People don't label themselves hipsters. Remember?
Other people would.
Yeah. Hipsters don't like being called hipsters.
No, they wouldn't. But
remember?
Who likes being called anything?
Because they're too unique and individual and original and to be to have a label put on them.
It's funny
they're not part of a group. They're individuals.
It's funny that we're talking about hipsters, but the shirt that you walked in with...
It's got stripes. It's just a black and white
hipsters would love
t-shirt.
stripes. They'd be listening to like Vampire Weekend in their black shirt with white stripes.
Oh my god, you are living in the... Were you a hipster in 2009, 2008?
No, I was probably too young.
Nah.
Go a bit more forward.
Vampire Weekend's probably on the back end of like... That's probably like... would be considered like... boomer hipster culture now.
Oh no, that's me.
Hipster for fucking... Yeah, dude.
I'm a boomer hipster.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly though, like Urban Outfitters, that's what I consider hipster.
Yeah, man, that's what you
in
consider.
America.
And that's not hipster now, is it?
Not anymore.
Yeah, not now, because they're doing they're doing records, but they're doing Taylor Swift records,
And don't judge my little Tay-Tay.
No, I'm not judging.
Okay, you're not judging. Even she tried to be hipster for a stage. There was a stage where she was wearing those little black hats, and she was 22.
And she'd do the fucking the glasses. Would she do the glasses that aren't real?
Yeah, she had a bit of that.
Did you ever do the glasses that weren't real?
No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that.
I did it. You know what I did it with?
With a girlfriend on a date?
No, I did it with 3D glasses.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah, just I'd bust like the fucking lenses out, because when 3D movies were fucking big, I'd bust the lenses out and I just wear them around like that, and I thought it looked not bad.
And I bet everyone else thought you were too. The minute you said the 3D glasses, I was like, yep, of course you did.
Yeah, I did it.
Doesn't surprise me.
They were the blue and red ones as well. They were cardboard.
No, they weren't. I think no one has used the blue and red ones since like Spy Kids 3D Game Over.
I've still got ones from when I went to the cinema to see that.
Nice.
They gave you the sniff card.
Ooh, yeah. Is that what led to addiction? I'm sorry, was that too far?
What are you talking about?
Joking.
Let's talk about amyl nitrate for a minute. You know all about amyl nitrate. You know all about poppers.
Well, experience is limited, but I know my stuff. When they say poppers, my mind goes party poppers or that kind of party poppers?
That kind of pop. Well, you've got poppers that are the party poppers, the confetti pops,
confetti,
which we've got some here.
Not anymore.
Shut up. Fuck, that sucks. We've got poppers that you sniff.
Yep.
That you sniff. It's amyl nitrate. It's like some sort of chemical that it makes you. It's really bad for your immune system, but it makes you lose your mind for a bit.
And lose other things.
Yeah, lose other things.
Down below.
It's very
loosens it up.
Well, it's very. Anyway, we're not going there.
What's the moan?
No, I'm totally talking shit.
It's factual.
I've got some in my car.
Sweet.
It's not open. Do you want it?
No.
It's a triple distilled jungle juice. It's a popper. It's an amyl nitrate. You sniff it, and you know the rest. You get a bit funky with it, and you go out to a gay club, and you unce.
Nice.
Anyway.
You said 3. There's only 2 kinds of poppers, isn't there?
No, the other one is just juice, like a juice popper, like a juice box.
Oh,
People
nice.
call them poppers, yeah.
Push pops?
What the fuck?
Is it push pops?
Oh, yeah, because you push it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha, and you put straw in.
I have some of those. Yeah, well, no.
So we've got all of them. Do we have all the poppers?
What's the one that's still the juice, but the one with the cap?
Huh?
Like a bottle cap.
The fuck?
It's still
Pop with the cap.
still like the juice in a plastic little bottle, and you suck on it. Like a drink bottle. Like imagine a drink bottle, but you could lift the lid up and down.
I'm imagining
Does
a
that
drink
make
bottle
sense?
that
Imagine
lifts the
that.
fucking lid up and down. Yeah, I'm imagining this.
Okay, do you know what
Popper! Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah.
does that still count as a little juice pop?
That is, yeah, I guess that's a...
So I have those, and sometimes I knock one down at the train station before going to uni.
Dude, grow up.
Fuck off.
Dude, what are you, 6?
Yes.
I haven't had one since I was 6.
Well, I had to ask Dad, I'm like, can you buy them for me? And they're in the fridge.
You got your dad? You are a fucking child!
Yes, it's nice, it's nice. Hey, when it's like 7:30 and you're at the train station, it's pretty cold in French Valley.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Hey, dude. What are you?
I'm a uni student.
No, but how old are you?
Old enough to go to uni.
Buy your own. Well, first of all...
Oh, you want me to buy my own?
No, I want you to buy coffee.
Oh, you want to go down this path? I've always said one day I'll try coffee, and it still hasn't happened.
I want you to buy...
I'm probably saving money by having the juice and coffee.
Yeah, well, because your dad's buying them for you.
Yeah, no, but even if I was buying it, let's say I was buying the juice.
Well, the price of 7-Eleven coffee's going up, so it's going to be more
I
expensive
saw
anyway.
that by $1.
Yeah, by $1, which, I don't know.
But if you add that up each day over the week, it's $7.
Which, by the way... Yeah.
That's a long pause you had there.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about, I was going to get into Australian politics, but we are a podcast that's for everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, and after the year that we've had, we've decided an election. Do we really want to be getting into politics so soon?
Yeah.
Do you? Do you?
No.
We've gone from juice pops to politics.
Juice pop, yeah, I know. That's how fast we go down that rap, but we're not. We're steering clear of that. But unless you want us to talk about it, if you want to send us if you want to send... No, I'm asking the fans if they want to send us an email and say,
of course,
talk about this political issue. I want you to talk about, 16 people in Ukraine. That anyway, if you want us to talk about that, yeah, we can talk about that, and we'll have opinions on that, and we'll say, hey, that's really horrible that's happened in the Ukraine, and I'm so sorry.
And we'll change our Facebook profile picture to like a picture of us with our families.
Should that be our logo for the podcast?
Yes.
Our thumbnail, or just the Ukraine for
it's like us, but with the Ukraine. No, it's going to be like an overlay. It's going to be a photo of us with the overlay of the Ukraine flag over it.
I was thinking it could be
make peace, not war, that type of thing.
I was thinking it could be me painted yellow and you painted blue, like you're Aladdin. You know what I mean?
And you would be the Simpsons?
No, yeah, sure. And we're standing in front of a abandoned plane, and we're looking sexy.
Well, I definitely wouldn't be looking sexy.
No, come on.
I could try.
Yeah. You could be lying in the, what's it called? The jet turbine, the engine.
In the cockpit. And I was like, lay me in the cockpit.
That's
the last time I'll go there today. That's the last time
We're done. Done? That's what they did, though. That's what, what's her name? Volodymyr Zelensky and his wife did.
Oh,
They posed on the cover for Vogue magazine in the middle of a war. His country's at war, and his wife's looking sexy in front of an abandoned plane, yeah. They go in Hollywood. Baby. They're doing it. So. They're doing it, Meghan and Harry. I'm telling you.
Meghan and Harry. Let's not go there either. I feel like that's just as dangerous as politics.
Okay,
but you either love Meghan or you hate Meghan.
Yeah, I loved her on. Well, what do we think of Thomas Markle?
I knew.
What do you think of Thomas Markle, the half brother?
For anyone that's unaware, Thomas Markle Jr., the half brother of Meghan, appeared on Big Brother Australia VIP, and we absolutely loved him.
He was the best one on there. He was, for whatever reason, obsessed with his half sister and talking about his half sister. Probably because it was the only thing that made him interesting.
He loved her, but he also hated her, and he realised that his hatred for her turned her away from him.
Yeah.
But he also wanted her to know that she needed to be friends with him.
Yeah, but in the end, it was what was holding him back, and his experience in that house, he came to realise that, hey, I've maybe not handled things the best way. What was it? Thomas Markle.
Yeah, I'm so glad that he had so many great people around him to lead him to that conclusion.
Did he not? Who was around him that wasn't saying, hey, dude, this is really self-sabotaging that you're just so obsessed with your sister because she's got a Netflix show and she's part of the royal family?
That's America for you.
That's America, man. That's the UK, that's America, and he doesn't understand it.
Down under, not not here.
So almost Markle.
We're great. Yeah, how do we go from there? We went from politics to Megan. How we going? How we feeling?
About this podcast.
Yeah.
I like the podcast.
How I feeling?
This podcast, I don't know, that's really for the fans to decide.
It is true.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that's the end. No. How long? By the way, that's the other thing we didn't discuss. You wanted these podcasts to be half an hour. Jesus Christ.
People have short attention spans.
I don't know, man, because the podcasts I'm listening to are upwards of 12 hours.
Which is funny because you have a shorter attention span as well.
I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to broaden my attention span. And it's funny that I'm starting a podcast about being on my phone because I'm trying to be on my phone less.
Okay, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like when quality time. When you're
quantitative and qualitative time, yeah.
It's like back to the question of how old are you? You know, when the parents are like, here's your screen time, here's your hour.
Oh, they had a set amount that you could have screen time.
And they'd place the iPad in front of them and they'd play like, I don't know, what are the kids playing these days?
I don't know, but would they be...
Fruit Ninja?
Sure, Fruit Ninja. I loved Fruit Ninja. Would they be disappointed if my screen time was 8 hours and 4 minutes a day?
It's a lot.
Yeah. Is that what yours is?
Yeah, probably even more.
Oh my God. You know what the most used is?
Instagram for the hipsters?
It's Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking hell, man, because
I know that you don't really use Twitter, and I know that who uses Facebook.
No,
so
it's because I'm not even using it. It's just I was talking to a girl.
Oh, okay.
And you know this, and you know the rest.
I feel like over this podcast we need to track how many girls you listen to, though.
How many girls I listen to?
Because you seem...
Wait, I'm not listening to girls. That makes me sound like I'm in the bathroom listening to girls or something. And
my apologies.
That's not what I'm doing. One sec. You know what I'm doing right now, by the way?
You're taking photos.
You knew the whole time?
Yes.
How do you feel? Do you feel comfortable about it?
No, I don't at all. That's probably why I stumbled over the words. You're not listening to girls. You talk to many girls, but you seem to...
so many. It's scary how many girls I talk to.
So that's why I want to track it. Can you just stick to potentially one?
Well, I deleted Tinder. That's a start.
Okay,
but
how did you find this new girl then if you've deleted Tinder?
Let me go on to I meet people in the real world. I meet people on my phone and in the real world.
Fantastic.
Hence the podcast. Hence why we do the podcast. Let's see. All right, we've got I won't say their names, but we got I'll use their first letter.
Yeah, perfect.
We got J, we got B, we got D, we got C, we got A. This is all in the last day. Oh my God.
Hang on, how are you finding them though? If you don't have Tinder.
Oh God, I got one I got to reply to right now. She's
You don't need to reply. How are you finding them?
How am I finding them? So one of them, it's predominant. I was thinking about this yesterday. Where do they come from?
Yeah,
and not only that, more importantly, where do they go? And why do they leave?
Oh no!
No, I'm talking shit. Okay. Actually, no, a little bit of that. But where do they come from? Yeah, some from work, some from uni, some from here and there. They're around the place, and I meet them, and it ends in disaster a lot of the time.
Disaster.
Yeah, it ends in catastrophe.
But it does feel like every time I kind of see you, and sometimes I would see
someone or something, yeah,
every couple of weeks, or sometimes it would only come up every couple of weeks, and you'd be like, this girl, and I'd be like, the last one, and you'd be like, no.
Yeah, sure. It bounces, is what I'm. Yeah, I agree that it bounces. Yeah,
let's work on this.
What you want to, you want me to focus on one?
Do you think that'd be best for you? Or if you want to bounce around, if you think that's best for you, go for it.
Yeah, but let's say what happens when I do focus on one?
Yeah,
and she decides that I'm not worthy of
but then you
worthy
move on
of
to
her
the next
attention.
one.
Yeah, I know, and that's where you're finding me is with the next one. Yeah,
but
and
so
then I
every
focus
single
on her.
person doesn't find you worthy.
Oh no, for about a week they do, and then after that they realise probably not.
They need like an exit question, when like people leave jobs and it's like question. It's like, why do you not find me worthy anymore?
That's a thing for jobs, for careers. Oh shit! Did I just attach a mic? Yeah. Is that a thing at jobs? Did you ever have that? What did that happen to?
Surely. I don't know. Some jobs would be like, so why do you want to leave us?
Oh yeah. That actually happened at my fucking school. They had that. People were leaving the school.
Oh, well, that's a fair question to ask.
Yeah, and they were going, what is it about this school that sucks? Yeah, it's a weird thing to ask.
Yeah.
I did a thing with Vitable yesterday. You know Vitable, that does the vitamins?
Potentially.
You're not healthy, you wouldn't know. But they...
I know Swiss.
You do? Okay, alright, that's basic bitch vitamin shit.
Yeah, Blackmore's?
Blackmore's, sure.
So
you know your vitamins.
Because I work in retail. What one is it again?
So it's Vitable, but they're like an online thing where it's like you go online.
Bingo, that's why I don't know them.
But you haven't got the ads on Instagram for them yet?
No, because it's targeted.
You'll get an ad on Instagram after this.
Because you've been here or because we've been talking about it?
Vitable. I want to buy some Vitable.
Do you actually believe that it actually listens?
I've heard some people that say it does.
I don't think it does.
I've heard some people that say it does.
Great. Okay, back to Vitables.
And you know who I heard this from? The people at Vitable yesterday. They said we're listening to ya. No, I actually have nothing but good things to say about Vitable. Vitable is now a sponsor of the podcast. Thanks very much to Vitable for being on.
They don't know that they're sponsoring us yet, but they will.
I go online each month. I say, here are my priorities for the month. I need improvement with my cognitive functioning, my stress levels, my energy. I'm not sleeping enough. What can you give me to help? I fill out a little survey, and each month they send me a customized, 30 packs, compostable packs that you get in a box. You get them in a tin. In a tin. Nice little tin. Yeah, they send you a tin. You've got like a little box that they send you every month on the day. And you take your little sachet of supplements each morning and you feel fantastic for it, dude.
I would have no clue. I'm not healthy, so I don't take vitamins.
Dude, the price.
What are we talking?
Low. Very good.
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure they give you, like, when you sign up, they give you a nutritionist that they put you on call with a nutritionist and they say, hey, here's a nutritionist, and they give you little tips and advice, and if you want to speak to them again, you can give them a call. It's all good.
This reminds me of those old-time ads from, like, TV in the 1950s where they'll do ads live on the show. Because normally on podcasts, you'll hear a little tune and they'll be like, now, time from our sponsors. But we didn't do that. You just went straight. That was like an ad.
Do I have to disclose that? That it's a...
No, because you're not being paid by them.
No, but I want to be. No, but I want money from
That's not how it works.
That's what Ash Barty did with the fucking Target.
Oh, she just started wearing Target.
Ash Barty, wasn't she the one she's the tennis player?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, was a tennis player.
Retired, so young.
Well, she was number one in the world, number one female in the world.
She was.
She won all the Grand Slams. And
not all of them, but sure.
She would wear Target clothes.
Yeah.
Before she had a sponsor. And then in the interview, she'd go, I love Target clothes. And then...
Target sponsored her.
And then eventually Target sponsored her, which is a shame because Target, not very good.
Where do you rank Target amongst the three? Big W, Kmart, Target.
Let's just say it's the last I'd want a sponsorship from.
Yeah, true.
No, aren't they going out?
No, they've just been restructured. Let's not talk about Target.
That's never a good sign.
Kmart, though. Kmart used to be the worst, and now it's best.
Now it's the top dog. I went there the other day to get this very water bottle. Kmart has a great range.
You doing another sponsorship?
Water bottles. I got this 2-litre bottle for only $5, and I also got a nice book. I went to their book section.
What book did you get?
It's
Self-help?
I believe it's called Lost Connections. It's about, the way the modern world is destroying our minds and the way we need to.
You're on your phone too much.
We're on our phones too much, which is why we're doing the podcast.
It's connection.
Anyway, Kmart's fantastic. Vitable's fantastic.
I'll let you have a drink.
I don't have a promo code yet that I can give you.
Nice. No, honestly, it's like the live promos that you got going on here.
Oh, I do ads. You think I don't do ads?
You do ads.
I do ads. I know how to do an ad.
Put that on your resume.
Give me something you want me to advertise. Give me something in this room. Give me something in this room that you see.
No, I think you've done enough advertising for one day.
No, I want to do one more ad. Come on.
You want to advertise your Mac that was making weird purring sounds before?
No, I refuse to promote Apple. I won't do Apple.
Hey, Apple, that saved your phone. Remember that time?
Apple were good. Apple, I went in once and they didn't have a... My phone had some dust in it. And they said, well, what
I believe it's called fluff.
Fluff, okay, sorry, fluff or lint or whatever.
Lint, yeah, that's another good word for it.
Lint's what you get in your belly button.
And it's also what you get at Christmas time.
And someone, if you're on, what's that show, fucking Weird Habits or like Hoarders or something, where the guy collects his belly button lint in jars.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Interesting.
You know about that one?
I do, but I don't even think I would have enough belly button lint to really fill up a jar over a couple of years. I feel like up to, you know what I mean?
Christ. Yeah, no, I think this guy had been at it. This guy was like...
Is he not washing himself properly?
I think he was in his 90s. No, I don't know.
Yeah, like every now and then you're like, oh, a bit of lint.
Honestly,
very rarely.
Do you want me to tell you something?
Never lint?
I've never had it. I don't know what it is. Like, I know what it is like in my toes. Like that's from my socks.
Yeah.
But I don't get it on my foot. I
think it also depends on clothing and, like, that kind of stuff as well. And also body shape.
Oh, I'm sure if I...
No, I'm sure it would.
Okay, all right. Okay, so...
You're making me nervous. Can you put that lid on that water, please?
Nah, man, it's just safe. No, okay. Sorry, dude. Let me have one.
Yeah, I'll keep on talking.
One more big gulp. Yeah, go. Yeah. And I'll gulp in the back.
You gulp. Yeah. No, I loved our memory of going to the Apple store and you going to them, hey, can you get my lint out of my phone? And they were like, sure, stay right here.
Yeah.
And we stood in the exact spot. You had no shoes on. And they came back to us and they said, never do this on your own. And you know what? I've done it plenty of times since.
I did. I did, and it always worked a treat. It always worked fine until the last time. Now my charging port doesn't work anymore. So they were somewhat right.
You must have, like, dug it in there far too much.
I really jammed it in there, and also, like, I couldn't find... Let's just say I used something I knew I shouldn't have used.
Oh, not the poppers.
Not the...
Not the poppers, was it?
No, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, you've been great at advertising, but I think give the ads a rest for now, because we're... No one's...
So it's only episode 1, and, there's no...
You don't want to overload it. People complain these days. They go, oh, so many sponsorships. And I'm like, you can fast forward the podcast, right?
That's what I do, but don't fast forward my ad for...
No.
But don't fast forward my ad for Anchor and Spotify.
No.
Because...
Don't do that.
Shout out to Anchor and Spotify, because they're going to be hosting this podcast.
They will be. Do it for other people. Joe Rogan, fast forward. Fast forward the whole thing, Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah, because he's got...
Skip the whole thing.
Hey, apparently Netflix...
What are they doing? Netflix.
Gonna start doing ads.
Yeah, but it would be on a low model.
Oh, okay.
Price.
So, but we'll have to pay more than the existing, and the other tier will go down. Or what's the deal?
I don't know how it's gonna work. Well, no, I think it will be no. I think the way they'll probably do it is they'll introduce a cheaper version. Say at the moment we're paying $15.
Yeah.
Let's just say, and they might introduce one that's only $10, but with ads.
How much do I have to pay for the Indonesian one?
Oh, you and the Indonesian Netflix.
Yeah, the Indonesian Netflix I hear is fantastic, man. I gotta get a VPN.
Once again, we've spoken about this before. It's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth.
What's a myth?
That the Indonesian Netflix will be better. You or your brother probably just saw a few products on there, a few shows, and you thought, oh, that's better.
No. I don't think it is.
Oh, great. We went over this last time when we said, well, we've got Stan in Australia, we've got Binge, we've got Disney Plus. I don't know if they've got Stan. They don't.
I don't think they have Stan, but if you're over in Indonesia and you want to get an Australian VPN to get on Stan, watch some Australian content, which no one does.
They do. I use Stan. I probably use Stan the most.
No, but who outside of Australia is watching Australian shit?
Hang on, rephrase that. Who Australian? As in Australian shows?
Yeah, Australian shows. Yeah, people are watching Love on the Spectrum.
Is that Australian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on ABC. Love on the Spectrum.
And then they made an American version.
And then that's why it's called Love on the Spectrum US.
Right, that makes sense. That's on my watch list. I'll get to it one day.
You'll love it. They've got all these people who are... I don't know if I should explain this to you.
Oh, explain it.
There are people who on the...
Spectrum.
Yeah, they're a bit neurodivergent.
And are they looking for love?
They get out there and they make them date.
Nice.
And they follow them and they watch their journey as they try to find love. And it's... Look... It's very sweet.
Yeah. Bit too sickly sweet.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like there's a bit of like a moral thing for me where I'm like
manipulation.
Why are we? Are they perceiving are the people on the show? Do we see them the way they think we see them?
Good point.
Like, how do they think they're being interpreted versus how do we interpret them? How aware are they?
Well, to be fair, I haven't seen the show, so I feel very adapt to comment.
And the other thing that I don't like is the show has to be cast. In that they have to send producers from the ABC out to find someone who is the right level on the spectrum to be on the show.
True.
It's like, you got to have someone who's the right level of autistic.
Yeah.
We can't have someone who's fully out there just dribbling.
Don't say dribbling. Don't say that word.
Dude, there was an executive who sat down at the ABC and said, look, don't get me anyone who's dribbling.
Okay. Well, you're putting words in someone's mouth.
I know it. I've got an inside source at the ABC.
You have a lot of inside sources.
I have an inside source at the ABC.
Your inside source at Foxtel has just ended, so there'll be no news from Foxtel anytime soon. But I haven't seen it, so maybe do you recommend Love on the Spectrum, or you still feel a bit icky about it?
Love on the Spectrum's great.
Nice.
I think it's a really good show.
But back to your question, do people overseas watch Australian content? I think the answer is yes. At times, depending on the show.
At times, but it's got to be not so Australian. It's got to be not very Australian.
I did a unit at uni last semester called Australian Cinema, and we watched TV shows as well, and that was a big question about what is Australian content and what should Australian content be? How Australian should it be? Should you be able to tell that it's Australian? Is that good? Is it bad?
I don't want to be able to tell it's Australian.
Fair. And there's a lot of people in the modern world who think that. The less Australian is, the better.
I went on Reddit the other day
Nice.
to see
We both love Reddit.
to see if any people in the US watched Australian television shows, and the general consensus I got was there were a lot of people going, "Do you guys have television in Australia?"
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Maybe America's on the spectrum. Because they don't think that anyone exists outside of themselves. It's sorry to say that about a whole nation.
Nah, it's fine. There are dumb people everywhere.
I'm sure
there are so many dumb people here in Australia. In fact, I know more dumb people here than anywhere else because this is where I live.
Yeah, true.
There are some real fucking idiots that I meet, man.
In the real world.
Yeah.
But and on our phones, we meet
And
so
on
many
our
idiots
phones.
on our phones. Should we have a tally of how many times we can tie it back in, like thread the needle?
Yeah, sure, man. We got to get the whiteboard up.
Yeah, true. There's a few things we need on the whiteboard.
What do we want to talk about?
Yeah, that's a nice little ramble we've done there. And we came in with some preconceived ideas of what this would be, what we could do.
We sort of, but we're not struggling as much.
We're not struggling.
No, by no means.
I'm not struggling. Are you struggling?
It's all good. No.
I hope people listening are not struggling and they're still listening.
I think this is just going to be the show. If you like the show so far, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a positive review, and all that stuff.
Well, Ben, this wasn't on my phone, but I felt like it was time to share a little story about my life.
Fuck. Yes.
I think
dude.
you'll like this.
Yes, because I don't actually hear stories about your life, and I thought, does Jayden have one?
I can. No, he doesn't. Jayden's life is mostly having jokes at the train station.
I know what you're going to talk about.
Yeah?
And I'm scared.
About uni.
Because I'm not a confrontational person.
Well,
and you, it turns out, know how to ruffle some feathers.
Well, in this situation, I'm proud of myself that I didn't ruffle too many feathers.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about the event afterwards, and I said, Jayden, a younger Jayden, would have been, going all in. This was just a snide remark, but I'm proud of myself. I called them out. And that's what uni's all about. It's about calling people out.
Oh, yeah, no, we have some... people have conflicting opinions at uni, and I got told to not have one the other day. I didn't like it. Yeah, I got...
You got told to not have an opinion.
Someone just said, actually, I'll get to that later.
Okay,
You
so
hit me.
let's keep it short but sharp. I'm in a unit called Screen, Franchising and Adaptation.
I reckon I did something very similar.
Well, basically, we're looking at films that are adapted from books or other sources.
I was wrong. I didn't do that at all.
Oh, and you didn't do that?
No.
That's good. So films that have been adapted. Basically, we were talking in the class, and part of the class was meant to be analysing the Little Women's. There's been like 4 Little Women films.
Yeah, that's the one where they go, little women walking down the street, little women.
Nice, you know it. That's great. That's
That's bullshit.
No, you're thinking of Pretty Woman.
I know, but then you said it so sincerely, and I was like, that's not.
I was just playing along with you.
Yeah, I know, but I was like, anyway, you threw me off, dude.
Anyway, so that's Pretty Woman, but we'll talk about Little Women.
Little woman.
And at the start of this class, there was a big discussion about Batman. It went on for too long.
That's the one that's no, little woman,
Little Woman, little bats. So people were talking about Batman for a fair bit. And then eventually we got onto what we were probably meant to be talking about a bit more, Little Women. Even though the person who's running the unit obviously enjoys Little Women, the person teaching the class was like, look, I'll be honest, not a massive fan of this story. Whatever, that's fine. You don't have to love everything. But basically, it kept on coming up back and forth throughout the hour, and she kept on kind of saying about how, Little Women. She's like, I'm so sorry to anyone who does like it. And I was getting a bit annoyed because I love the story of Little Women and the 2019 film by Greta Gerwig. Do you know Greta Gerwig?
I know the film. I hear of Greta Gerwig, and
she did Lady Bird.
Yeah, I know. I always think, what a weird name, Greta Gerwig. But,
well, that's her name. She can't help it.
Yeah, no.
Like yours.
We're talking about having opinions, and I don't like the name Greta Gerwig.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Lucky you weren't in the class. Anyway.
What, because people in the class were going, I love the name Greta Gerwig.
I loved the name Greta Gerwig.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, in the class, eventually, this guy who spent so much time talking about Batman, and he was getting off track about Batman.
Sure.
So I was getting annoyed.
Was this guy a nerd?
Yep.
You don't come across as a nerd.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
Then I come in here and I go, is he? Is he?
Well, you know what? You can enjoy nerdy things while also kind of
being cool.
I was going to say,
yeah, you were going to say
taking
being
care
a
of yourself,
slick motherfucker.
Taking care of yourself.
Your skin's not greasy.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a trait of a nerd. Yeah.
I shouldn't say too much before I get sued, but basically,
Hit me.
Basically, he remarks and goes, "Oh, how did it go?" The teacher was like, "Oh,
I saw you tweet about this."
Oh, so you know where it's going.
Well, I got a bit uncomfortable. I had to tune out. I couldn't. I don't like the confrontation.
Basically,
Scary.
He said, there's been so, like, basically talking shit about Little Women. He goes, oh, well, they've remade it. Like, how many times can you remake the same story?
Sure.
And I go, wow, people in 2019 were saying that, and everyone agreed that thinking is steeped in misogyny because
It's about
everyone can have. No, but not just that. But no one complains about how many Batmans or Spider-Mans there are.
Yeah,
but you
sure.
want to complain that there's been a handful of remakes of Little Women.
Little Women, sure.
Little Women.
I probably agree.
And that just, it got me hyped up for the hour, because I had like an hour in between class. I went and got some food. I made that tweet. I messaged someone I know and I said, how fucked was that?
Yeah.
Put it on my Instagram story. Got a few fiery likes, the little emoji with the fire.
Yeah, sure. What's her name? Greta Gerwig.
Greta
Greta Gerwig.
Gerwig. Oh, she loved it.
She liked it.
She would have loved it.
Yeah.
And then went to the next class, and eventually I started talking to some people who were also in that class. And I was like, hey, did you get a load of that before? And they were like, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. Okay, good. Wait, did you speak to him?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, that's where I thought the confrontation was. I thought you spoke to him.
No, look, these days I wouldn't, and that was a mild confrontation. I wouldn't want it to go any further than that.
Yeah, sure.
But a younger Jayden, maybe when he was 21 at TAFE with you.
Yeah, dude, you used to get into it over some weird shit. Not weird shit, but as in like it was
minute.
It was probably worthwhile, but I remember a few times being like one person in particular, where it's like a few times you went back and forth in class.
Can you say the first letter of their name?
Cooper. His name is Cooper. That's his full name.
Yes.
Which
that's not what I was thinking you were going to say, but yeah, people back then, probably when I had a shorter fuse.
Were you talking about the other one, the Mark?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was going to say, it's Cooper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That you were thinking about? Yeah.
No, I was thinking, sometimes I would just get in discussions with people, and then years later I've looked back and I was like, why did I say that?
Yeah, I remember there being one about...
I think I was just agitated all the time.
You were ready to go with Cooper. I think you lose patience with someone.
Yep.
Like, you lose patience
these days I wouldn't. These days I could listen to that and just go.
But, like, you're like, if you spend enough time with someone and it's like, you're like, oh, I'm sick of this person's shit.
Yeah.
It takes them doing something very small for you to be like, all right, here we fucking go.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm ready.
And for context for people listening, so me and Ben went to TAFE together in 2016.
That's our uni. Sort of.
What?
I'm trying to describe what TAFE is to people who might not know what TAFE is.
No, the better way to describe it is like community college.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, it's not uni.
Yeah, it's not uni, but it's kind of like learning as an adult. Anyway, but we were there.
College, yeah.
We were there 4 days a week.
Too much.
It was too much, and with the same people each day.
Yeah.
So from February till November, 4 days a week. The days were stretched out. The days were long. So when someone is extremely agitating, eventually, I lost my willpower to stay as a nice human.
Let's just say it draw that. I think that like the TAFE or the community college version of like media studies or radio and television studies draws some of the people who would like to study film and media,
Yes.
but are less intelligent.
Correct, because me thinking about the people who were at TAFE and me being surrounded by people at uni, there is light years difference.
Yeah, dude, and
light years.
And let's just say I wasn't ready for uni then. I was at that at that time. I was breaking out in zits. I had zits all over my face, and every night I would go home and wonder to myself, what am I doing wrong? Why do I have all these zits? I'm doing all the right things to protect my skin while I was ripping a bong and eating a bag of Doritos, and
that might be why.
And had a Coke fucking to my right, and would just sit there watching television for 6 hours every day. Yeah,
and that could have been it.
And that's when I stopped doing the bongs, and I still eat Doritos now and then.
Good. When they're on special.
I don't touch drugs. I don't touch drugs anymore.
Perfect.
I don't touch recreational drugs anymore, which is great.
Do the poppers not count?
But what's this? What's this zit here? Can you see? I had a few zits earlier this week. What are these?
I can't see them. I'm less than a meter away.
I'll put a flashlight on my zits. 1 sec.
I'm less than a meter away.
Can you see this? I popped them, but there's one in between mine. You're acting like you can't fucking
Now
see.
I can with the lights on.
Okay, great. Well, there's some zits there.
But dude, you realise when you walk around in life, you don't walk around with a light shining in your face, so...
No, but I can see them, and
So
that
let's say-
makes me feel... You know how that makes me feel.
But let's say you went to a shop and you were at the checkout and you were the distance that we are from each other, the person wouldn't be able to see because it's kind of dark in here.
Yeah,
well, not fully dark, but dim.
Yeah, but I just have this thing where I'm like, I just have this thing.
That's fair enough. I can understand that.
I got concealer. Do you know that?
Concealer. Yeah, but then the more you try and conceal, the more obvious it becomes.
Yeah, the more obvious it becomes, which, by the way, I was with some friends playing basketball the other week, and they're like, I was like, fucking, I'm out of this, like, this fucking concealer I got to stop putting the concealer on because I think it makes it worse. And they're like, and I'm like, I got to admit, like, I wear concealer every now and then. And they're like, dude, you think we didn't know that? Oh, they're like, dude, it's been so obvious and we just didn't mention it.
That's so good of them.
I know, but also I was like, oh no, people have been thinking I've been wearing makeup. People have been thinking
but they would understand why.
They've been thinking I'm a little woman for years.
Yeah. Like Greta Gerwig.
She's
actually pretty tall, Greta Gerwig. She's not very little.
Yeah, how scary is it when you're with, and you know all about this, when you're with a bigger woman, like when you're seeing or sleeping with a bigger woman? Oh,
you were being facetious when you said you know all about this.
Yeah. When you're with a woman who's taller than you?
It is interesting. Guys are very intimidated by this.
I'm Tom Holland without the fucking
I don't get why.
without the star power and confidence of Tom Holland.
There's a lot of star power.
But let me tell you about
But
let me tell you, and I have inside sources that say this about what happens in the bedroom with Zendaya and Tom Holland.
You have so many inside sources.
I have.
I can't wait to meet some of them one day.
Yeah, I know. I got connections everywhere, man. And
so what's going on in the Spidey room?
In the Spidey room, let's just say it's if in the Spider-Man films he's the one picking her up and carrying her across the city and her being the damsel in distress.
Yes.
It's very much just it's very much not it's very much the reverse of the roles.
In the Spidey room.
In the Spidey rooms, yeah.
It's a lot to take in. But it is something that men are very conscious about.
Yeah, because they don't want to feel
inferior.
Correct, yeah.
Is that another opinion that's steeped in misogyny?
No.
That they can't be shorter than a woman.
No, because I hear women all the time and on Tinder that message me, how tall are you?
Oh, so they're looking for it.
And I've said 6 foot, which is a lie.
Wait, are you?
I'm 5'11", I'm just under. I'm 5'11".
Are you taller than me?
I don't know, man. Do you want to stand up back to back?
Oh, we're not standing up back to back.
I got no idea.
Surely. I thought I was 6, but maybe I'm not.
But you don't notice it until you're in bed with a woman and you go, oh my God, she's overpowering me.
And that's surely what Tom Holland thinks when he's in bed.
Exactly, yeah. And that's like, what's it called? Exactly. Tom Holland, and from what I won't say who the source is.
Please don't.
But let's just say Tom Holland, he acts all confident and cool about it, but he's like when they get into the bedroom, he comes out crying after Zendaya's left and she goes to film Euphoria.
Yeah, and he's all alone.
And he has nothing else to film. He's like fucking just punching cigarettes, just chain smoking.
Get those darts down.
Just what have I? Yeah, I need to.
That's
like, I can't break up with her because people are going to judge me for they're going to call me insecure. They're going to say I'm racist.
I don't think anyone would be saying that.
I saw a tweet the other day. Yeah. This is on our phone.
It was on your phone. Nice. And the person who made the tweet was in the real world.
This is a weird thing that the fucking, and this is like a weird like mentality of like white liberals or like white like people that are sort of like center like
left leaning,
far left,
far left.
Where they go,
like
the intention's very good, but they have no idea how to be good.
Okay,
and the tweet that they make is it's like a photo of the two of them, Tom Holland and Zendaya, at a restaurant.
Yep.
And the tweet is, he's so brave being seen in public. It's so brave of him to be seen in public with a person of color. Like how courageous of him.
Slow clap,
which is a weird how can you not see the racism in that itself?
As it's like good it's like race.
It's like good on him getting out there and proving to the world that it can be done, but it's also like, should we the impression isn't that you should not be seen, like no one's thinking you shouldn't be you shouldn't be interacting with people of other races.
They're thinking that his stock could go down because he's with someone of another race. But he's not thinking that at all.
No, that's like the last thing he's thought. Yeah,
he's thinking, how short am I?
Yeah, and the first thing that these people go to is, ooh, mixed race. Like that's just fantastic. Like, yeah,
it is interesting to be inside other people's minds.
I know, especially the mind of the person I'm talking to in Tom Holland's house.
Oh no, the Source.
The Source within,
the Source.
within Tom Holland's inner circle, let's just say.
The Spidey world.
Yeah, the Spideyverse, yeah, sure.
The Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
no, that's even better. Nice. Well, hopefully they make the distance, because all the other Spidey couples have broken up.
It's J.K. Simmons.
Oh. What a bastard. What a bastard. His role was very small in the last film. He's probably thinking, I'm going to get him back.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a
Yeah.
small little cameo, really, from JK.
And they portrayed him as a Alex Jones type character.
Yep, 100% in his basement, was it?
In his basement.
Yeah.
Which
But it was a nice little modernisation on the original.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
J.K. Simmons, he's had a bit of bad luck, good luck, obviously Oscar winner, but also bad luck. He
did Whiplash, but then he also did...
It was Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, but then he also did...
I have no clue where you're leading to. What did you do?
The new fucking Batgirl.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Which we got to talk about.
Do we?
Fuck yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so what happened?
Well, the film was in post-production.
The film was, got to production, it was editing.
They were editing, special effects, and they were told, we're not going to release the film ever.
I think they put it to they showed some drafts and some mock-ups to a...
No, that's not the reason at all.
It's not?
No, it's tax purposes.
Really? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a tax write-off.
They didn't see it as profitable.
So the problem is that the film was made to premiere on their streaming service HBO Max.
Sure.
They felt like it wasn't cinematic or big enough.
Max was doing this?
Yeah, so they're aligned with Binge.
It was. I know what HBO Max is.
It is. It wasn't cinematic enough to go to the cinemas, but they it
wasn't
also
cinematic enough to go to the cinemas.
It also was too expensive for them to make a profit off it on HBO Max.
Fuck, just put it in cinemas, dude.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. So they literally cancelled it, and what they can do is it's like a tax write-off where they can kind of claim money back on it.
But dude, $90 million that they spent on it already, and Scoob too.
I know, I was excited. Did you see the first Scoob?
I didn't see the first Scoob.
Oh, the first one was fun.
Okay, cool. I'll go watch Scoob.
My perception
But
of
I will
Scoob,
not watch Batgirl.
Well, you'll never see Batgirl. It will never see the light of day.
If it comes out or not, I don't care if J.K. Simmons is in it. I don't care if who's the other one?
Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, Brendan Fraser.
It was going to be his big comeback.
There were some big names in it, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently the directors of Batgirl, they said on the day they found out, they quickly tried to log in and get the tapes, and they were all gone. All the digital files were taken. So they couldn't steal it.
What?
You got to get ahead of the game.
No.
I know a certain person in radio who knew that she was about to be fired by a certain company. Let's say it rhymes with Pova.
Sure. Oh no, I know exactly who you're talking about.
And she was smart enough to get a lot of her audio logs before she was let go.
Good on ya.
Good on her.
Good on ya, S.
C? SMC?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as far as I'm pushing it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know exactly who it is. Yeah.
Hey, we know the same person. We know people.
We know people in the radio world.
Yeah, we do.
In Australia. For those of you who are overseas, that is Nova, the radio station, and the presenter is...
I'm not going there.
I'm not going to say it. I won't do it.
Yeah, Nova. That's how we got introduced to each other. For people who also don't know, we were at TAFE to learn about radio and media and television. And how's that going for us sitting in...
A disaster. No,
it was an interesting year.
It's fine, man. We don't want to be in the radio world.
I feel like I need to write memories of that year down before I start to forget more of them.
Yeah, I think about doing that every now and then.
Memoir?
On our write things down on our phone that happen in the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Is there a fire outside? Is someone having a fire? I can see smoke. I'm not even kidding.
No, it's coming from is it going from that side?
Yeah.
It's just the heater.
Oh, okay.
It's just with the heater.
Is someone having a hot shower?
Maybe.
Nice.
I don't know, because we're doing this podcast.
Nice. Okay.
For reference to people who cannot see where we are sitting, and we're sitting in a bedroom, there's a window. Ben thinks he sees fire outside my window. It is just a heater. But getting back on track, this podcast, we've had some fun, right?
We've had some fun, but we're going to keep going. Yeah.
We're going to keep going. It's like a marathon.
It's only fucking, it's only 5:39.
I want people who listen to this to say, hey, you guys were fun for the first half an hour, and then after that I couldn't stomach it. Or you can say, hey, I could listen to you guys go on for as long as you want.
Is this a weird one? This is something that happened in the real world.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I'm at Melbourne Central, and I'm eating fucking a barmy or sushi.
Is it in the big food court?
Yeah, the big food court up
Nice.
top. Yeah.
There's always chaos.
And there's a couple next to me that are eating some sort of broth with noodles in it. And then they get up and they walk off. Right?
Leave the broth.
They leave it, but there's it looks very full still. It looks like someone's going to return to it. It looks like they've not touched it.
Yeah.
And a guy comes over who doesn't look like he's can't afford food.
Yeah.
And this is like just after they've left. And he comes over to it, stands over it for a sec, like looks around, and I'm like, this guy's gonna eat the fucking noodles.
He's going to take the broth.
And he picks up the bowl, and it's like a big bowl, and he swirls the fucking fork in, and he's looking around to make sure no one's watching.
Yeah.
I'm literally right next to him.
You're
watching, so he's not very observant.
No.
And he fucking gets the like swirls noodles in quick and gets a big gulp and just puts it back down and like just looks around, and I was like,
And leaves?
no, and then like sort of just stands next to the noodles still like facing the other way, checking that no one saw him. And he's like looking around, and I think he's about to do it again, and I get up to walk off, and I go, hey dude, just have it. I go, hey dude, just have it. And he's like, oh, this is the stupidest shit I ever heard. He goes, oh, isn't it somebody's? And I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, you've just already had it, though.
And you know you've just fucking eaten it.
Isn't it somebody's?
Did you think of that, like, when you fucking had the first bite?
So he was sus as.
Oh, he was sus as shit. And I was like, nah, dude. I was like, they're gone. I didn't know if they were gone. I think they might have actually been coming back. And I left, but I
wish you stayed to find out.
I do wish. And after that, he just picked up the bowl and just started gulping down these fucking noodles. There were so many of these noodles, dude. Holy shit, man.
The fact that he had to feel like he had to say, isn't this somebody's
Isn't
food?
this somebody's? Yeah.
Somebody's?
I don't care whose.
Now
I don't know
yours.
Whose, but yeah.
It is now your broth.
Don't act like
Enjoy.
you ever cared that it was somebody's.
Yeah,
He
but
didn't care that it was
also they shouldn't have left the broth.
They shouldn't have left the broth, but also, who knows whether they were coming back or not. But either way, weird cats in the city. I was talking to you last week when we were in the city, and there was a lot
That's
there was a lot of
right.
people on ice. There was a lot of people on heroin.
It was Friday.
Allegedly, it was Friday. But I usually, like I was saying, I only usually see one nut job. Today there was 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was that kind of day.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's Melbourne.
It was
Anything
that
can
kind
happen.
of day, yeah. But does that say something about? What does that say something about?
It says that people used to be like, "Oh, the city is destroyed." I say no. The city is at its finest.
The city's coming back. The city is alive.
Nut jobs in one day.
The more crack out there,
we are peaking.
the more ice out there, the better. Yeah.
Yep, that's
the more
Melbourne.
people that are under bridges, lighting fires, getting blasted on a Thursday night, going through to a Friday morning, and causing me trouble out the front of a 7-Eleven.
Perfect.
Oh man,
That is the reason why we were for many years ranked as the #1 city in the world. Because we don't have one crack addict, we have 7.
That's what we fucking need. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe as they start to come back, we start to work our way up the ranks of the most livable city.
I think we're still top 10.
I don't know.
I think we are.
All I know is Adelaide's up top, and they got plenty of drug problems.
But it's probably also cheaper to live there.
When's Frankston going to be on the list?
Well, I think they more look at major cities, you know.
They more look at major cities, sure. Give it a few years.
Give it a few.
Give it a few. Adelaide, you ever go to Adelaide?
Recently, last month.
Oh yeah, you did. How was that? I never saw you since because you didn't want to. You kept putting off seeing me. Dude.
Oh, shut up.
Well,
don't
dude,
make it like that.
Well, dude, let's get real.
How was Adelaide? Adelaide was good, but I don't think I could live there, though.
Huh?
Have you ever been there?
I wouldn't live there.
Have you been there?
I wouldn't live. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's quaint. Let's put it that way. It's enjoyable.
Some nice churches. You can...
Yeah. Oh, and some like fernery. You know, the CBD is literally surrounded by trees.
Did you do the walk that goes up to the hill?
No, I barely went out of the city.
I know you didn't do the walk that went up the hill. How did I know you didn't do the fucking walk? Jayden, if I ever take you to Adelaide, I gotta take you on that walk.
Oof, well,
Should we go do the 1,000 steps?
I better have some. Well, not on a. It's just starting to get dark. Not
Jayden,
today.
I feel like no matter what day I say it, you'd make an excuse. Come on, do you want to come to the beach with me over something?
Does it look like I'm a beach person? I'd rather do the 1,000 steps and go to the beach.
Oh, you would do the 1,000 steps.
I mean, I'll probably die doing it. I'll have to
that
roll
was
back down.
All right, how about this?
Oh, you want to kill me? That was your thought. I thought you were going to say that was my prediction.
Well, what about fucking Lizzo's new show?
Lizzo coming to Melbourne?
Do you want to be you want to be one of the dancers on Lizzo's new show?
Oh, because I'm body positive.
Do you know about this? The show?
I feel like I've seen it like on Twitter, but I thought it wrapped up.
I don't know, man.
Maybe it's coming back for another season.
Would you like to be one of Lizzo's backup dancers?
No, I'm fine.
I don't think you're big enough.
Yeah, I'm probably not.
They are big girls.
But I shouldn't think like that, because if I think like that too much and I go, oh, well, that person's much bigger, then it makes me think that I'm fine, but I'm actually very unhealthy. You know why I think I'm unhealthy? Because I've had many medical professionals
Because
tell
you've
me.
been told that.
They go, you know you're not in a healthy way. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware.
Huh. So, what do you do?
I'm not big enough for Lizzo. So
what
imagine
do you do?
Imagine what Lizzo's backup dancers are being told then, if I'm being told that.
Well, they're being told they're healthy.
Surely not.
Yeah. I don't know.
You sure they're not being told that they should have healthy minds? That's two different things.
I think it's... I don't know what they're being told, but I think it's one of those things.
I thought
where
you watched
go,
the show, or was this an inside source again?
I've seen a bit, like, I've spoken to one of the girls on the show.
Nice.
And,
they were told that she's healthy.
No, and they said the producers of the show have been covering up the fact that one of them did or have a cardiac arrest.
Oh, it's a lot of physical exercise.
I don't know.
I do worry.
Okay, so that's allegedly. That's allegedly, but it's it's inevitable.
Similar to how Tom Holland allegedly cried after Zendaya left for Euphoria season 3.
The only thing that's certain is that is that he's quite short, and he should be ashamed of it.
He should not. Have you seen him dance? He's fantastic.
You're kidding.
Have you not seen the clip?
No.
So there's a clip that goes around Twitter literally once a month, and it gets like 1 million retweets. It's him when he danced on Celebrity Lip Sync. You know that show?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
You've never seen it?
I think I have. Yeah, I know the one. Yeah.
He starts off doing Singing in the Rain, the old 1950s film.
Yeah.
And it leads into Rihanna's Umbrella.
Ah, okay.
And he literally dresses like Rihanna did in the music video.
I thought
does the whole dance.
I thought you were going to say it was like a DIY, like at home video footage where it's very like uncomfortable and hostage like, and Zendaya is behind the camera with a gun going, dance you fucking midget. Dance,
For the likes?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, he did it for the likes. He did it in front of the world.
Of course.
Let's not call him a midget. I love Tom Holland.
Should we call Zendaya a giant?
Yeah, she's a giant. Especially in heels.
Is she actually tall? Or
I think she's just tall compared to him.
Oh, okay. So he's just he's just very small. I know some small people. Yeah.
Do you?
Apparently, it's which one's harder, being taller or being smaller?
It depends on how tall or how small.
Very tall or very small. Very tall versus very small. I'm talking 7 foot versus what's a average
4'5"?
Sure.
5'1"?
How big's that?
I don't know.
3 foot?
I don't
4
know.
foot?
Look, the problem with being 7 foot is you might have to duck coming into like a house.
Let's talk about the benefits of being tall. Or the pros and cons of being tall.
You can reach the top shelf. But I can reach the top shelf and I'm not that tall.
Yeah, I know. That's the pro of being just average height.
Average height.
You want to be average height.
So super tall, you're playing basketball and you're winning.
Oh, dude, well that's pretty good. That's
Everyone
pretty fun.
wants
That's pretty
you
fun.
on their team.
That's pretty fun. Yeah, you're Shaquille O'Neal. You're who's
LeBron James.
Yeah, what's the
R.I.P.
Yeah. LeBron James. R.I.P.
Oh, sorry, I got Kobe. Sorry, I got it mixed up. Look,
That's all good, man.
It happens. Sometimes black people.
So
We cutting that?
they're tall.
They're tall.
They're tall. They're all very tall.
Well, you know what a
you
short-
get tall people confused.
You know what a short basketballer?
You don't. You can't have a short basketballer. I know many people who tried and couldn't.
That came out badly. I'm more meant to reference when media organisations do that, when they get the wrong one.
I know exactly.
Case in point, the other day there was an Australian rules footballer. His name's Paddy Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one?
Yeah.
He retired, but they put the wrong footballer from the same club up, and they're both Indigenous.
Oh no.
So it happens.
Oh,
and that's more what I
no.
was referencing.
That's bad.
I'm so
that
sorry.
sucks.
I'm
That
so sorry,
sucks.
LeBron.
That sucks.
I think LeBron's still playing, so I don't know why I went there. He's not dead.
That sucks. Anyway, what are the benefits of being a small person?
You know on school camp, or when they would do the you would have to go under the bar. How low can you go? What's that called? It is
What?
it's like a thing on a cruise that you would do.
Shut up. Shut up.
How low can you go?
Shut up. Limbo.
That's right.
Why,
Limbo.
dude? I only blanked because you struggled. I only blanked because you did.
Don't blame me.
No,
That's
dude,
not fair.
don't go blank on me.
Can you give me your psychologist's phone number so that I can say, hey, that's not fair. Tell Ben that he shouldn't be doing that. If you want to pass a message on the mine, I'll be exchanging numbers.
Yeah, okay, but I'll also tell her, hey, Jayden thought you were a man. He assumed you were, when I was talking about you, he assumed you were a man because apparently he thinks women can't be psychologists, I guess.
Now it turns out I'm just as misogynistic as the guy that didn't like all the Little Women. Pretty much. But basically, limbo. That's the short person would be really killing it every time at limbo.
Yeah, what are the cons?
They can't reach the top shelf. And then they have to ask people like me who works in the supermarket, and they go, excuse me, the shelves are too tall. Can you reach the top shelf for me? And I'd be like, this one? They're like, no. This one? No. This one? Yep.
The difference between
Just pick the mayo's all the same, no matter what.
Here are my two. Here's the two big ones. Here are the two big ones for me. Pros and cons of being small or being big. as a man and as a woman.
Oh, don't gender it.
No, it has to be. It has to.
Fine.
It has to.
Go ahead.
It has to. And it's unfortunate because, I'm not the tallest guy,
You're pretty tall.
No, I'm not the tallest. If I was 2 foot tall, my life would be so different. I'd be with fucking Zendaya.
Okay, go ahead. What you got pro?
Shorter guys. Men, if they're taller, are doing better with women.
Yes.
Men, if they're shorter, having more trouble with women.
Okay, yes.
Women, if they're shorter,
doing great
with men. It's probably they've got a bit more wiggle room.
But women, if they're tall,
But if they're really tall,
that's why Netflix made that
gets a bit
film
difficult.
Tall Girl.
Is that like the opposite of Little Women?
No, there's a film on Netflix called Tall Girl. It's literally about how hard her life is, but she's tall. And it's like, the idea is that she's like oppressed.
She's what?
Oppressed.
Oh, she's oppressed because
She's
of her
like,
height.
yeah.
Okay, sure. Well, make a show about me, dude. A little, medium-sized man.
Medium-sized Ben?
Medium-sized, slightly, around medium-sized, maybe slightly below.
No, I'd say slightly above medium.
the deadly height. That's what it'd be called. The deadly height. Yeah, the forbidden, the fucked height. No, what's it called? The doomed. Yeah, the doomed height.
I don't know, man. You're making the film.
I know, but it's about being just below 6 foot, which is the ultimate, the most undesirable height, dude.
You're overthinking this.
No. I've heard women say like if you're 5'10", 5'11", you're fucked.
The next woman that asks you on Tinder for your height, I just want you to say, "Hey, I have a podcast. My co-host said I was overthinking my height too much, so I'm not going to answer that question."
No, but I have. Did I tell you this? That I answered 6 foot. I lied.
But can you say it in centimeters? What are you in centimeters?
What am I in centimeters? 179.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah, but apparently not tall enough. She said, well, how tall are you? And I said, 6 foot. And she said, are you sure?
Yeah, because some guys would bump it up if they're not 6 foot.
Yeah, like I did, because I knew she wouldn't be interested if I was 5'11".
But isn't the next step after 5'11" 6?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's only one notch off. It's not like you're
and that's not enough, dude. That's why I'm saying it's the doomed height. That's why they need to make a Netflix show about me and how oppressed I have been, dude.
They even made a Tall Girl 2. They made a sequel. She's so oppressed. She's too tall.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
I want you to go home tonight and watch it. And then after that, watch Love on the Spectrum. See what the vibe's like. Hey, listen, Ben, I've had a great time. But all good things should come to an end.
Yeah, man. Well, it depends on the time. Yeah, no, we did good. I guess.
Did you have a fun time?
I guess we're going to split these. We're going to do an intro, but yeah.
Yeah, true. You've drank a fair bit of water.
Yeah, and I don't even need to. That's the other thing people should know about me. We're dropping little things about us that people should know. I need to go to the bathroom a lot.
But not right now?
No, dude, I'm keeping it together.
Perfect.
But what will happen is I'll go to the bathroom here before I leave.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I'll drive home, and about halfway back, my light bladder will
you'll just be needing to go.
I'll be in a lot of pain.
And you'll have to...
And it'll be half an hour of me on the way home going, fucking...
Well, if you take E-Link, you could pull over at the service station that's around halfway between mine and yours.
I sometimes do.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I do it sometimes, but...
Well, we better wrap it up, because you've been drinking a lot, and I'm worried about your bladder. Has this been our first episode? Has this been the first one?
This is the first episode ever of... On Our Phones, a podcast about the real world, an in the real world podcast, whatever we want to call it.
Are you concerned that we're calling it On Our Phones and we didn't really reference much On Our Phones this first episode?
Oh shit, no, but I think that's sort of like the
overarching.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the On Our Phones, a podcast about the real world.
Yes.
So it's sort of like a spoof on the fact that we're talking about shit that's on our phones.
Yep.
But it's also like, it's sort of like tongue-in-cheek, like we're not actually always talking about things that are on the phones. We mainly talk about...
But it came up a fair bit.
We talked about culture. These are all things that are on our phones, even though I do have real-world connections with Tom Holland and J.K.
I would
Simmons.
say, did you see that video on the phone? Did you see my tweet on my phone?
That's
and
right. You talked about... Yeah, that's right. We talked about all sorts of things.
I love Twitter.
That's another thing I want to talk about next week is the Instagram algorithm.
Oh, that's for next week. Anyway, if you've made it this far, congratulations. Thank you for listening. There's going to be many more. Weekly, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to do one more recording.
Now?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
We're going to wrap up.
We're going to wrap up.
That's it. Thanks so much, everyone.
Sayonara.